Hey everyone, it's Angela Caruso at CMG Financial.
And I'm Gealean with Exit Real Estate Gallery.
We just wanted to reach out and give you guys a little virtual presentation on a brief rundown of the home buying process.
Absolutely. Fun part.
All right, so a lot of confusion around the home buying process, so we just wanted to try to see if we can make it simple, get you started out on the right foot here. So this is going to be...
By the way, y'all might hear my children in the background. They're screaming at each other from one room to the other, and they're across the hall. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Mine just finished some schoolwork and was toying around with some Legos very loudly. So I just gave them the, hey, we're live, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, so buying your first home, step-by-step guide to the home buying process. So owning a home can be very fulfilling and exciting, but it also, the buying part of it can be confusing and daunting and stressful and overwhelming. So we're here to kind of help try to alleviate that stress and make it a little bit easier. So understanding the home buying process and finding the financing options available to you is going to give you that peace of mind and help you make an informed financial decision. So let's go over real quick some of the advantages of homeownership. So first advantage, you're building wealth, growth and equity. So as you pay down your mortgage, you're building equity in your home. That equity can be used down the road to either pull out more cash, do home improvements, a lot of different things you can do with that. Also appreciation, the value of your home is going to build over time. So if you go to sell it, you reach out to Gealean, she's going to look and say, hey, you've got this much equity in your home. You're going to make this much profit. That profit can then be used to buy a new home or just put in savings, invest. So it's just a chain reaction of building wealth. There's also some tax benefits. Mortgage interest, property taxes, other expenses might be tax deductible. Financial stability, this is a big one. So your salary is most likely going to rise over time, but your mortgage payment is going to stay the same. So it's getting increasingly less expensive basically to pay your mortgage. So while rent is going up every year, traditionally, your mortgage is going to stay the same.
Absolutely.
Yep. So the first step in buying a house is to obtain a mortgage pre-approval from a mortgage professional such as myself. So your mortgage professional, your mortgage advisor is going to help you identify any credit issues that might hinder your approval and also advise you on how to correct those. We're going to guide you through the loan application and the closing process. We're going to help you determine a home purchase price based on a payment you can afford. That's very important. Instead of asking, how much are you looking to get approved for? My question is always, what is a comfortable monthly payment for you? Because we want to make sure that you're within your range, and then I can figure out the sales price range based on that. And then I can let Gealean know exactly what price range you guys are looking for.
Yeah, and so it is something to, like she said, that is step one, because people, sometimes you don't know exactly how much you are actually able to afford. So you may either think that you're able to afford less or more based on what your idea is. And I mean, $25,000 to $50,000 above or below what you think is actually super important and can either give you a lot more purchasing power or a lot less. So we definitely want to get that pre-approval first.
Definitely very important. I'm also going to help you compare different loan programs. There's tons and tons of different loan programs and ways we can structure the loan. And I want to make sure that we choose the best one for your specific financial needs. Also, I'm going to manage and address any issues that may arise during the process so that I can kind of guide you through the closing as smoothly and quickly as possible.
And Angela is excellent at that. Excellent.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So can you qualify for a mortgage loan? There's three main components that go into qualification. There's a lot of little things that go into it, but the three major things are your credit history. Your credit score is going to give your lenders an indication of your willingness to pay. So this is indicated by your history of paying your debts on time. So in addition to determining your eligibility, your credit score will also affect your interest rate. It's going to affect your terms, conditions of the loans, and which types of loans that I can offer you. Your employment history and income, a steady, secure job is going to make your loan application a lot stronger. So the amount of approval is highly contingent on your debt to income ratio. So your income is going to factor in there as a major component of that. The third thing is your assets. So a lot of people think that they cannot buy a home if they don't have a lot of money saved, they don't have 20% down saved. That is not the case. Most of my buyers do not have 20% down. I'm sure Gealean will attest to that as well. So don't count yourself out because you don't have a lot saved. I've got tons of home buyers assistance programs for you. There's grants available. There's a lot of different ways we can structure your loans. We can do lender credit. So we're here to help you out. We've also got an exclusive crowdfunding platform called Home Fund It. I know Gealean really likes this one.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's so fun. It's just the whole idea. So pardon me, my voice went froggy there for a second. So like Angela and I both got married within this past year, right? And we both are established adults. We didn't need another mixer or anything like that for our house. So how cool is it to be able to say like, hey, here's this wedding registry where you can help me put a down payment towards a new home. Like that is, I love that one. That one's my favorite for sure. It's just neat.
Yeah, basically, normally when you get gift funds, even wedding gifts, they have to be tracked and sourced, and your guests don't want to really necessarily do gift letters and all this stuff. So this program allows them to contribute for your new home without having to provide all that documentation. So makes a great wedding registry idea for you.
Yes. I don't know what is going on with my throat right now. I'm sorry. Okay, better.
I love you, Gealean. I really do.
I love you too.
Awesome. So just quick examples of things that we're going to ask for once you're qualified for the loan: your pay stubs, your W-2s, your tax returns, your bank statements, any retirement accounts. It is essential that you get those to me as soon as possible for review. That's very, very important. If you find a house you want to be able to place your offer quickly, and we want to be able to get moving because that market out there is competitive. Virus or not right now, it is booming out there. I've got a couple people who've gone under multiple offers just in the last week. So, and Gealean, I know you do a lot of listings, so probably seen the same.
Yeah. So listings definitely, especially ones where people don't live there, are still moving quite heavily. So, but yeah, we're not really seeing a slowdown as far as that is concerned. And another thing I want to point out about that documentation is, guys, they're going, like Angela and her processor are going to ask for those things more than once. So don't get like, you're going to provide it up front, and then after you go under contract, they're going to ask for it again. Totally normal. Just don't get deterred by that.
Right. It's just basically to get updated information. We've got to have a lot of documentation as far as paper trails and things like that. That's another reason it's important that I review things up front early in the process. There's just things that you would just never realize. Like if you work 38 hours a week instead of 40, and I see that on your pay stub, that could make a difference in your debt ratio. That could throw you in or out of approval status. So those things that you would never think about as a consumer, we are looking at every day. So it's really, to help us help you to have a smooth transaction. All right. And then, of course, the next thing that we do after you get approved is you build a relationship with a good realtor such as Gealean.
That's where I come in. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, we need to know, first of all, what's important to you. Do you need a yard for the dog and the kids? Do you need, just a tiny little townhome because you don't want the upkeep? Like we gotta have a lot of conversations just to find out what it is that you are looking for. Just keep in mind, guys, that this is not a place I will ever live. So I'm not concerned about it. Like it's more just finding out what your needs are. I remember I have one guy that every house we went into, he stood there for 30 minutes and he would go, "What do you think?" And I kept saying, "Well, I don't have to live here, so don't worry about what I think. So what do you think?" So we're going to do that. You also need to make sure you have a good relationship because it's going to be up close and personal. I mean, between me and Angela, the mortgage professional and the realtor, you are going to have a lot of time with us, and you got to have good trust in your realtor, and you got to make sure that they're going to advocate for your needs. So whether it's me or someone else, just make sure that you are comfortable and that you like them. Because if it's not likable, it's going to be a rough process.
That is very true. And Gealean, when you do find a house you like, she's going to be the one that acts on your behalf to represent you. You as a buyer do not have to pay anything to the realtor. It's a free service for you, and you want to have that backup. I'm sure you can talk about a little bit about repairs and negotiations, kind of where you step in there.
Oh yeah. So I'm a very nice person, but I'm also very tenacious, especially on behalf of my customers. So I remember there was one house that we went into, and I told the home inspector at the time of inspection, like, hey, I'm going to get this AC replaced. And he goes, but it's working. There's no way. And then he came back for a re-inspection after all the repairs had been done. And he was like, you got the AC replaced? And I'm like, I told you I would. It all depends on what your needs are. I mean, if you don't have the funds to replace an AC 2-3 years down the line, there's no way I'm going to get you into that situation without, advocating on your behalf, for sure.
Advocating on your behalf, that she said it exactly right. That's exactly what she does, is advocates for you so that you're getting the best deal that you can possibly get. She's really looking out for you. And I really love that about you.
Oh, I love that you're looking out on the other side of all the.
Yep. And another thing, while we're talking about things we love about Gealean, is she is just a resource for everything under the sun. Anything you need, she just has that person in their back pocket. I, on a personal level, needed some tree trimming done. I'm like, let me reach out to Gealean. 2 seconds later, she texts me back, oh yeah, contact da, 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 da. So one-stop shop.
I got a guy. That's my phrase. But networking is my superpower, is what I always jokingly say. But it's something that I always talk to people. One of the first things I usually ask people is, what do you do for a living? And that way I can make those connections. And yeah, so I do. I got a guy.
She's got a guy for it all. So once you buy the home, the first step, if you are really interested in a home, is you're going to make an offer. Gealean's going to help write up what's called a sales contract. Mm-hmm. And kind of negotiate what you want there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you make an offer, it is literally presenting paperwork saying, I, the buyer, will purchase this property for this price, and then seller will look at it and say either it's an acceptable offer or it's not, and there might be some negotiations. But usually, even before we get to that point, I call the agent on the other side and I say, what's important to your seller? That way we can already get it out of off the ground, and we can write a good, clean offer from the get-go and, try to get it accepted right away.
And that's really going above and beyond for you to make that phone call up front. So I think that's really awesome. So that starts the negotiations and looking out for everybody. Mm-hmm. All right. So once that's done, then you go on, we always recommend you get a home inspection. And if something needs to be fixed, Gealean has a guy.
Yeah. Well, and then also above and beyond that, home inspections, guys, don't get deterred if you see a general, even if it was a brand new build, a home inspection report is going to be between 25 and 65 pages. It's just the way it is. That home inspector is licensed by the state. He is going to notate everything, even dings in the wall sometimes. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see a lot. And then there's also just general information, where your outflow is, how old the AC system is. All of those things go into the report as well. So I know a lot of people see the 65-page report and go, oh no, but it's not as bad as you think. And we'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's very common. So while that's being done on the loan side, I'm moving the loan over to my processing team. I've got a team right here in Jacksonville. Normally we're at the office. Obviously we're all working virtually right now, but I'm still working very, very closely with my team. They get it down to underwriting. We get title ordered, and we order what's called an appraisal. Appraisal is not a home inspection. An appraisal is to ensure that the value of the house supports the purchase price that you're paying.
Correct.
So, once all that's done, comes out underwriting, we may have a couple more conditions, couple updated documents we need, wait for the appraisal to come back, and then we get our clear to close. And
that's the best part.
Clear to close is the woohoo messages and the bitmojis and all that go with it. That's the best feeling. That means we are able to fund your loan. We can get your closing disclosure out, go over the final costs with you, and then we go to the closing.
The closing. And by the way, guys, so part of this whole process, okay, so basically after home inspection, I kind of disappear. It's not that I disappear. I'm always available, if you need me, but there's not a lot for me to do. This is when you get a lot of Angela and Angela's processor time. And so one of the things that I love most about Angela is she sends out these Monday updates. They're little videos that you can watch on watch at your leisure. So if you're having a busy Monday, you can just watch it when you get home or whatever. But it's a video that she sends to your phone and just kind of giving an update. Everything's going good, or this is what we need, or things like that. And it's that nice personal touch, because with so many lenders, you don't ever see them, you get to see Angela's face every week. And then also another thing, guys, She tries to show up to all of her closings. Sometimes it's not possible. Like we've had one that you just it scooted in there and we were already done. But I mean, yeah, do you remember that one? You were like,
Yes, I
oh.
do. I was like, wait a minute, you just started. Oh, well, she's done signing, and because we had already gone over everything, she knew what everything was. And of course, I was held up on a call, and I'm driving over there, and I'm like, Gealean, nobody's here anymore. She's like, oh, we're already done.
Yeah. But she shows up to her closings, and that's something that a lot of lenders don't do as well. I really love the personal touch that Angela brings because it's so easy to just, get lost behind an email or something, and that's not it. You get the extreme personal touch with Angela.
The relationship side of things is very, very important to me. I'm just not a transactional lender. I am a relationship lender. So I want to build that relationship with you for life. I've become friends with several of my clients. So by the time I get to the closing table, they've seen my face. I don't know if that's such a good thing, but when I walk in, they already know who I am because they've been seeing these videos every Monday. So that's my favorite part. Watching Gealean give somebody the keys, there is no better feeling to that. So.
Yeah. Well, and you and I have it in common that we really love to help people. That's why we got into these jobs. It's not about money for us. It really is about, we've helped some people through some really terrible situations.
Yeah.
Bittersweet. There's ones that we've got them out of bad sticks, like there's been some really awesome things. And again, about helping, not about the transaction itself.
Exactly. So if you have any questions, we are always here to help. I'd like to just add one thing while we're all home on quarantine about home buying. I am so glad that I own a house, that I have a backyard, because it has been my sanctuary, because you can't really go anywhere. So I am just so glad that I'm a homeowner. So that's been a huge benefit that I've realized during this whole crisis.
Yeah, I have pretty much lived on my back porch while my kids use our dining room table for homeschooling. I've just sat right out there because I'm right out there where I can, and I've literally watched the oak tree sprout leaves every day. I'm like, there's more. It's kind of like watching paint dry or molasses in the wintertime, but it is. It's been interesting.
Yeah. So again, we're always here to help. If anybody has any questions, let us know. Our contact information is right here. We'll go ahead and post it in the comments as well, so you guys can easily get in touch with us.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody stay safe and healthy.
Yes, stay safe, guys.
Make it a fantastic day.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.